to me, that's so sad. Why people want to move through life out of fear instead of out of love or understanding or compassion, whatever it is that you want, whatever good emotion you want. And granted, like, once again, right, it's kind of, it goes back to like what we were saying about like, you can't know compassion until you know like complete injustice, right? Right, you can't know these things. So maybe, do you think that maybe that's the problem, is like so many people just like don't fully truly understand the opposite of these things, so that because they don't understand the opposite of those things, they can't actually understand how to have compassion for people, or they can't practice it?
Oh, that's a great question. I have a couple of different answers for that. So for one thing, I mean, yeah, going back to the opposites, like you must know fear in order to know love. And especially with how we're taught today, we are taught in such a, conditional love, fear-based society that so many of us do not know what love is. So deeper knowing fear, there's two ways that we can go about this, because people, we have our ability to make our own individual choices. So you can choose to live a life of fear, but kind of like what V was saying, at some point you're going to get fed up with that feeling, and you're going to want to, it's what I call hitting rock bottom. Like you hit that emotional rock bottom, and there's no place I can go but up. And at that point, it's almost like that release, like just that release of fear and that surrender, not necessarily giving up, but just that surrender and that deconstruction of self, and being in that place of clay where you are now having to be rebuilt. And typically at that point is when we have our awakenings, is when we attract our tribe of love and we begin to genuinely experience and feel love, and we can find that opposite. But then there's also the mindset where you just give up entirely and you choose not to look up, and you stay there in that fear-based mindset. And I find that that's when people get set in their ways. You have that term of like getting set in your ways, is when you just get stuck in that area and you're just actively choosing not to see anything beyond that. And then that's where we have so many like strong, opinionated, like very bitter people that point fingers, because they themselves no longer want to learn like where they can go from here. I also do think there's so much control, so many people above us and corporations above us that we cannot see, that are stoking the fear-based society, that want fear-based society, because it does create division. But I also feel like as humanity, as this vibration of humanity, that this is almost like divinely intentional, that we need to experience this fear in this society, in this lifestyle right now, so we can birth this new generation that we're stepping into of love, of stepping into that fourth dimension. And it's just like the more intense the fear, the greater the catharsis, the greater that that new generation is going to be, and even teaching us love.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so
Because
I think
we're never done with it.
yes, it's a cycle. Everything always repeats. It's always a cycle.
Yes.